All right, hi IBCA. We're going to work on our SWOT analysis that we did in class on January 13th. So what I'm looking for you guys, what we talked about for a SWOT analysis is, remember, it's a part of a marketing team's job to do this. We're looking for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, SWOT, for the company. So you can make this however you want. I'm going to suggest that you work with a table so that you get a little bit more familiar with making tables, because not everybody, that's one place a lot of people will struggle with, even if they're good on other parts of Microsoft Word. So open up your Microsoft Word document. Something that I know that I'm not stressing nearly enough in class, and that's my fault, is file management. As soon as you open a document, you really need to get in a habit of going to File, Save As, then finding your folder where you want to put your document, and go ahead and name it. So I'm going to call this my SWOT analysis, and I actually haven't decided what company I was going to do, so let me just do it. I'll just do Amazon since that's what we did in class. Remember, you can choose something that is relevant to you, a company that you like. If you don't really have anything specific, look up the New York Stock Exchange or the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ. The New York Stock Exchange has like 30 something companies in it. Mostly of those are good things you've heard of before. Do one for those. Watch some videos about it, read some articles about them until you come up with, find something new that maybe we're not even, the rest of us be surprised to hear or something. Do your SWOT analysis about that. Probably the better thing to do here is to start with a title. Control E, Control B. Amazon SWOT analysis is what I'm going to put for mine. Hit enter. Control L to go back to your left. Actually, I'm going to keep it in Control E so that my table will be centered. Not really worried about bold and all that because a table, I'm going to go ahead and turn my bold off, because as you can tell, when you bold something, it stays on. So I can go ahead and turn it off either by clicking the button or Control B. Okay, so insert a table. Now, I'm going to make mine a 3 by 3, and I realize the matrix that we've been using only has 4 squares, the 2 by 2, but I want something at the top and on the sides that say like positives, negatives, and then internal, external for mine. And I want to make sure y'all see how that's done. So we need basically an extra 2 on top and an extra 2 on the bottom. I'm sorry, the side, and then the little corner piece we don't need at all, but you kind of have to put it if you're using this. Okay, so I have a grid now. I want these 4 to be my larger pieces to this. The others I'm not so worried about, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to click my box here and check out my layout. When you look up here right now, everything is under table tools and layout. It says the height of each of these cells is 0.19 inches, so very small. The width of each one is 2.17. That's sort of automatic. Now remember, you only have about 8.5 inches on a sheet of paper, and then 11 this way, unless you change your paper size, which you can do. But we're going to assume 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper. So if you do the math and you add this up 3 times, you're getting, plus if you add your margins here, you're getting close to the edge of where you can really be, your printable edge of your paper. And I don't need bigger room than this anyway, so I'm going to leave that alone. Now the height of these cells, though, I want to see what happens when I click them larger. If you know for sure you want them to be 2 inches, but you can type it in. I'm going to just sort of look at mine, see how far they go. Also, I'm going to go ahead and pull this over, which now they're all out of whack. So let me do just these, because I'm not worried about this side over here. Make my height a little bit bigger. I actually want these to come up too. So let's see, the height of this is 0.49 inches. So I want the, so let me see, let me make this a 1/2 inch. So the height of these are a 1/2 inch. I'm actually going to make these a width of a 1/2 inch so that they will look like the others. Sorry. I did the wrong spot. Okay. You can use your little handles right here to make everything get all cleaned up. All right, so let's see, height is 0.5, width is 0.5. So these, now these little, those are my like labels that I'm gonna stick on here. Those are fine. This whole thing's fine really, but yeah, the whole thing's fine. So I'm going to, okay, I'm going to use a table style. Under the table tools and design, you see how they have all these pre-made ones? This is what I'm using right now. So if you hover over any of these, you can see where it's going to change up, and it's just going to look different depending on what you do. On the start of port test, it might say use grid table 1 light accent 4. And as you can see on this screen right here, which I cannot really point to it, but as you can see, it shows up in that little alt text box right there to show you what it is. So that's how you know which one you're looking for. If you click that arrow and open it up, you have a whole bunch more. If it tells you one that's like a list table or a grid table, these are your plain ones. Here are your grid tables, so that you don't have to sit here and hover over every single one. You can at least, if it's a grid table, you can at least know that it's somewhere up here. Should be, it would have been nice had they put the actual colors on here, like orange, gray, whatever, but they did not. So if you get on a row that says grid table, like and you're looking for like accent 5, but it's grid table 5, dark, accent 5. Well, that might be right here. Grid table 5, dark, accent 5. You know it's on somewhere on this row. Anyway, you might just want to kind of get familiar with some of these, just in case they do that. I am going to use this one. I don't remember which one it was. Grid table 5, dark, accent 1. And I'm going to do a couple of things here. First, I'm going to put positives. I'm going to spell it right there. And I'm going to put negatives right here. I don't like the way that looks. It looks like it's too close to the top. I'm going to highlight these guys. On the layout right here, you select this right here and it pulls it to a centered position. Okay. I also don't like this square having anything in it at all. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to tell it no shading. The little box right here. And right now I don't have any borders at all showing up, and so there's none showing up here. But you could tell it no borders too if the one you choose has like lines on the side and you don't want it to. I like mine to look like a little cutout. It doesn't really matter. Right here I'm going to put, this is internal stuff. The text direction of this, I'm going to turn it until it looks like this. And I want to show you guys something that we have not done yet in class, because I didn't honestly know you could do it. Or if I did, I forgot. So I'm going to type the word external here. But before I change any of my formatting, I want you to try this. I'm going to double click this. And you know how if you can copy and paste something with Control C and Control V? Well, if you can use Control Shift C, it will copy all of the formatting. So I'm pretty sure text direction may not count. Let me try it. Control Shift C, Control Shift V. Okay, never mind. Text direction does not work on that. So let's change our text direction. Here, we can use the Control Shift C and Control Shift V copies and pastes the formatting that you used. So let's say I use the word strengths right here, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Now y'all, using your tab key to move between cells is to me the best way. You're not accidentally moving stuff around, and you can go quick without getting anytime you can use your keyboard to move around, you're doing good. Now, let's say I'm going to work on the word strengths right here. Actually, first, let me put a couple of, maybe make my little list here. let's say their speed and their selection. Okay, I'm about to change up some stuff on that. But first I'm gonna start here with strengths. I'm gonna double click this word, and let's say I want it to be larger, so let's go with like maybe 20. I want a different font for this. Let's go with like whatever that is, and let me change the color even to something just different. Okay, I'm gonna, and it's centered. Okay, so I'm gonna click out of that. So now these are bugging me. I'm going to put Control L for them, get them to the side. Okay, for strengths, I want weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to all look the same. If I want to make sure it's exactly the same, double click it. You can use, so the format paintbrush we've already learned about. Okay, you know where that is, home, whatever. So what I'm telling, with the Control Shift C and Control Shift V, it's basically just like using a format paintbrush. It's just quicker. So Control Shift C, you don't see anything happen, but I've copied the format on this. Double click this one and Control Shift V. Control Shift V, and you can even use, I believe, yes, Control Y, which means redo. Control Z is undo, Control Y means redo. So whatever you just did, you'll do it again. So both of those work because Control Y will redo whatever you did, and Control Shift V is pasting your format. Okay, so now I have all of those pretty much ready to go. Underneath each one, I'm going to say, dangerous working conditions, or perceived dangerous working conditions. I don't really know. Perceived to be cheap products, something like that. And remember, so our strengths, remember, are something that inside the company, what they're good at, what makes them, kind of what's giving them their competitive edge. Weaknesses are things that they should be, they need to do better. These are basically concerns that they could end up losing some market share or losing that edge that they have from these specific spots. Internally, that means that this is something that's in the company that's going wrong or going right. Opportunities, technology for higher speeds. There were some others that we had listed in that we watched. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I don't remember what I always said for opportunities, but you can list out opportunity that your company sees. Like if your company is Coca-Cola, and we're seeing that everybody is moving toward really liking kombucha, which is this like fermented drink that is good for your gut, that a lot of really healthy people like drinking. So if Coca-Cola sees that is an opportunity, and it's something that can easily be bottled at their factories or whatever and made and whatever, that would be an opportunity for them to tap into a healthier market. Because if their threat is, I just totally shifted to Coca-Cola on you guys, but if their threat is, healthier lifestyle choices by their customers, then an opportunity would be getting something healthier. You see what I'm saying? Like, be one of their first, be better, whatever. And so that's what I would put here for, to be specific, kombucha drinks, I just moved to Coca-Cola, so anyway. Anyway, so y'all get the idea. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Do your best. Come up with them. You might even find, if you do a large company, you might find some that are already basically done for you. You can use those, obviously. I want you, though, to make, because obviously the class is specifically focused on Microsoft Word in Microsoft products and making, you know, some nice documents. So I want your document to look good with the stuff you know how to do. Go ahead and, you know, make your matrix nice and pretty. If some of you are, if you're interested, if you found this whole whatever company that you are analyzing interesting, put a paragraph or two down here about, you know, some opinions you might have. If you have a family business and, you know, maybe it's some sort of restaurant or something like that, go through and pick this out and then give it to your parents, give it to whoever's managing the restaurant or whatever, and see if they can do anything about it. Make them some suggestions down here. I will tell you that strengths and weaknesses are usually the companies, the main places to find these is through the public, who your customers are. If you think that you're fast, but every customer says, "Oh, I hate ordering from them because they take too long," you're like, "My gosh, we're doing it in 3 days." You're like, "Well, I'm expecting it in 1." Okay, well, you know, so this stuff right here, strengths and weaknesses. It's really I would say that's a lot more customer driven, you know, I would ask customers, or think about yourself, or think about if you're doing Walmart, interview people that shop at Walmart and ask them, like, what do you think they don't do well? And what do you think, why do you keep going? Location, obviously, selection, they have everything, and their prices are good, and they're always open. You know, you may want to go shop at 6 a.m. and Kroger's not open yet, so you run to Walmart. Anyway, an opportunity for that would be like the mall. If you may need a pair of shoes, but if the mall on a Sunday and the mall doesn't open until 1 o'clock, well, you can run in at 9 a.m. at Walmart and you grab a pair of shoes. You don't have to wait for the mall to open at 1 o'clock. So anyway, that's the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats matrix. I want for your Microsoft Word experience here, I really strongly suggest using a table. There are some other ways you could do it. You could make, you know, you could do columns and make some lines and stuff. It just seems like this is the simplest. So, and a skill that is important for the test. Remember these 2 tabs right here. Play around with them until you see, you know, everything, and you make this thing look how you want it to. And you can still customize it. You can put some like little muscles in here and some whatever. You can make it cute. You can use hyperlinks if you want to, and click inside of here for, you know, you could click on strengths and then come down here and see a list. Weaknesses, come down here and see a list. You know, be creative. I love that. All right. If you have any questions, as always, please let me know. And I will see you guys on February 3rd.